Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Mayflower Curling Club here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. It is the 2017 Men's Deloitte Tankard on Bell 5 TV1. My name is Dan Hobson. Joining me is Matt. Good one off the start here, Matt, as we have the defending champions from Nova Scotia, Team Murphy taking on Team Flemming. It's a battle of 2 versus 7 in the rankings. And right now we're just in the finishing touches here of determining who will have last rock here in the first end. Of course, Murphy will be throwing the yellow stones and Flemming the blue stones. So let's get your expert analysis on how we think this one may go in the broadcast here.
Yeah, both teams extraordinarily experienced, and Murphy perhaps a little bit more, playing slightly more as the team on the national stage, but don't expect this to not be close. It's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes an extra end. Just because both teams are so familiar with each other, and they're both good. So,
and let's meet the teams right now as we take a look at the teams shaking hands there. Defending champions wearing the orange and white jackets, of course, is Murphy. Their lead is Crowell, Scott Saccary second, Jordan Pinder third, and Jamie Murphy the skip. And in the blue jackets, and lead is Don McDermaid, Kris Granchelli, Kevin Ouellette, and Mike Flemming. And of course, we also have other sheets that are played as well here, so we're going to keep you up to date on them throughout the broadcast, as there's 3 other sheets being on there. And of course, we have action on sheet 4. Brent McDougall taking on Stuart Thompson. In a 9 versus 1, Stuart Thompson, number 1, did not have to go to the open qualifier against McDougall, number 9, who was the last team to qualify for this championship right now. And that is, of course, going to be on sheet 4. And, our Bell 5 TV1 crew, Jim Nix calling with the call on sheet 4. So if you want to tune in and watch that one as well. And a little bit of a storyline into that one is that Mark Dacey has been brought out, because Dacey's with Sean Adams' team. Didn't qualify for this, but he's going to be a spare here on that sheet, as I've seen that. So that's what's going on. And, of course, on the sheet right next to us, we have Dexter versus Mayhew. And then rounding out on the final sheet is Kendall Thompson versus Team Stevens. And it will be Murphy who will have last rock from the Yellowstones here in end number 1, as Don McDermott's throw is underway, and we are underway from the Mayflower Curling Club. And it is draw 1 of day number 1 of the 2017 Men's Deloitte Tankard here on Bell 5 TV1. And this one will go deep and through and out the other end.
Well, first rock of the thing, you may as well make sure it's, as a skip. If you want to do that, first rock of a spiel or first rock of a tournament, I'd rather you do that than put it a foot over the hog line and then have a mess. So,
yeah, have a real long guard, because those aren't your friends either.
No. You can rationalize anything, but
let's take a look at Philip Crowell here, the southpaw lead. We'll take a look at the ice level shot. Being asked by Jamie Murphy to throw up a guard, so. Of course, the defending champions, come into this number 2 ranked. They did have to go through a qualifier. They did defeat Kendall Thompson 5-4 in draw 3 of that men's open qualifier in New Glasgow. So that was just a couple of weekends ago. So imagine probably, the more rocks in play, the better it is for offense. And I guess you got to wonder, who's that favor, Murphy or Flemming?
Wow. Yeah, it's when both teams are good, it generally doesn't favor anybody. It just kind of favors, if you guys are going to mix it up and put rocks in play, it just depends on who's on that day. And wow.
And this one will come in and just sit about the top 8 there. There's, of course, a yellow guard out there belonging to Murphy. You see half a rock from our broadcast location. Of course, we'll go over the rolls right now. 38 minutes of thinking time, 4 rock, free guard zone, and each team has 2 timeouts. And those could come and be a little bit helpful and handy with 38 minutes to decide something in our first draw here of the women's earlier today. Team Gamble was just running a little bit short on time, and she had to rush her last 2 shots.
Oh, well.
There's a nice little freeze there to that rock in front of the tee line.
That's the problem with going around. When you know, the first one went through fine, then they throw the corner, and then going around that corner makes things pretty darn dicey. If you're top 12, it's perfect, but if your tee line, like he was, not a horrible shot, it's really just advantageous for Murphy. So, and you know, as a result, they're going to waste a rock rip in the corner guard.
They'll remove the guard. The shooter goes as well. So those 2 stones that just sitting there in the 8-foot are the only ones.
Yeah, Jamie's just going to continue to put it back until something really changes. So at this point, when it's this early, you're already in a bad spot. Pretty low risk to just basically you're thinking in your head as a skip, well, just give them 2, and if we get lucky, some sort of double setup, or if they throw a bad guard, then maybe we can get out of this.
Scott Saccary with Crowell and Pinder here. Sway Pippa, mostly Pinder is just letting Crowell do a little bit of the work here. There's another guard being asked to be thrown up here by Team Murphy.
Yep,
and it will sit there and perfectly covering up that yellow that's in the house right now.
So they're just going to continue to do this until hopefully Murphy's team throws up something that's a little subpar.
Granchelli has to remove that and try to remove the shooter. They're trying to hold it, and they will, and the shooter will go out of play as well. So it's pretty important here to get your peel weight going, especially this ice is a little bit different than what you're used to seeing at the regular club levels. Brought in a different ice maker, has a little bit more of a swing to it, and so a good chance for all these guys here to read the ice early and see what it's doing and help them later on in the game. Saccary once again it has to throw a guard up. And will sit. Just another good one. It's not too long a guard, and you see maybe about a portion of the yellow rock from probably into the sheet for sure.
I'd still peel the corner without it. It's just not.
Well, there's no sense of taking any risk now.
My lord, you're looking at 3 if you screw this up. So yeah, this won't be your best chance to go out of this.
Into the third rocks here. And end number 1. It's Murphy versus Flemming here. As Ouellette throws up. So just 2 rocks right now in the house. One belonging to each other's team. As we're into third. Here's Jordan Pinder.
This is probably your best chance to get a bad, corner, or at least a haphazard corner with, switching from the second to the third. Nobody throws it exactly the same, but they're perfect again. Jeez.
Yep, it is right on again. So they definitely have their ability to throw the guards up here. They got that weight all figured out. As the second from Ouellette is out of his hand here. Once again, McDermaid and Granchelli holding the line. And they'll get part of the rock and remove it, and the shooter goes out as well.
At some point he might split the house here, but throw one more corner and then he'll probably split the house thereafter. The danger of going much later is if that guard hangs just a little bit on the center line side of things, then your opposition goes right around it, and it's you're looking at steal after that.
Well, pretty well the exact same shot as before here for Pinder.
If it's...
Okay, we'll stop there.
We might go around it. We'll see.
Well, a couple things. Number one, it's a little bit out there. Yeah. Number two, we look at it and you think that it's right on with the yellow, but looking at the shot from up along the back shot, you could probably see that there was also a little bit of a way to come around there, and I'm sure that's why they're taking a longer look at it.
Even if you get second shot out of it, then for your opposition to be long 1-2, they're going to have to get to, roughly a corner of the forefoot, so it really closes down the rings for them. But like I said, giving up 2 in the first isn't the end of the world. In 10 innings, anyway.
Well, the thing is, they could give up the 2 now and hammer, but they just can't afford to really give up any steals. So
no.
Definitely if a single one or even of the crooked letters, they don't want to give up that either. So that would be pretty well almost could be ball game because, as I say, you look at the numbers, when you're down 4 or 5 in curling, that's just real hard to get out of, even with the free guard zone. It used to be pretty well impossible, but of course the free guard zone make it a little bit possible, but still a tough hill to climb.
No, if...
We're going to skip rocks here in the first. Murphy with hammer. And Skipper just on his first one removes the guard. Shooter goes as well. So decision time, and
so he's splitting the rings now.
And of course, definitely wants to make sure to keep it so that there is no double possibility.
Yeah, there's not really anywhere where there's a double possibility, I don't think.
Well, if you get it really too close, there's a possibility, but then you spill yellow as well. So
maybe, yeah.
Yeah, there's that possibility. So.
Yeah, these guys can certainly throw it hard enough, so. Ideal would be T-line or a little bit better anyway, but, again, first end, you never know. Jeez. First end and probably somewhere he didn't really throw. So you could be going through a mix of plate-on stuff and good stuff, but...
First rock for the defending champion, Jamie Murphy, on its way.
It's pretty good.
Crowell Saccary will bring it in, and just as Matt mentioned, split the house.
Uh-oh. He might not be second. Huh. Well, apparently he is.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to see. Like when you took a look at the shot there as we back down to ice level, the overhead, there it is again. This is where I rely on you to be in the eyes because mine's not so good. And, man, that's almost like a 50-50.
I suppose it's not really relevant. You're still going to play the same shot.
Yeah, pretty much. But this is one of the things that's the growing pains of learning how to call this sport is getting the eyes to see if that's shot right. Yeah. What is it?
Don't worry, you can blink 1,000 times and won't miss anything. So.
The only thing I could think of is, it would be a little more dangerous. You just grab me by the ankles and hold me over the ice there and maybe get a better look at it. And then I'll be able to tell you. In the meantime, they're going to remove the delta anyway. Just got it. They just held the line on it. Wow. Almost was a flash there. But that's the best case scenario for us because, wow. We don't have to argue or talk about it anymore. Yeah. It's out of there. But boy, that almost got away from him. So pretty well. Looking anywhere, definitely like to get it within the
full
top 8. Full 8 or even 4 here for 2 here for Jamie Murphy. Final stone. Here in number 1.
I think he threw this in practice, so but it doesn't look like the ice is different anywhere.
And once again, They're trying to get it there. The front end working very well. Crowell and Saccary. And it will stop there. And an early 2 points on the board here for Team Murphy over Flemming after the first end of play. This live stream of the 2017 Deloitte Men's Tankard Curling Championships from the Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax, Nova Scotia, proudly presented by 5TV1. 5TV1 brought to you by Bell Alliance. Matt Paul, Dan Hobson, the Bell 5TV1 crew here at the Mayflower Curling Club. We've just seen Jamie Murphy get off to a good start with hammer. Got his deuce in the first end, so Flemming will now have the hammer playing the Bluestones here in end number 2.
Well, don't let anybody tell you that lead doesn't matter. I mean, there was one shot missed that end. They're thinking it was just that first lead stone that went through and rattled the hack, and it resulted in yielding a deuce. So,
well, that's the thing. Is like we're talking about like these. You're trying to represent the province, at the Brier, and any little mistake here at this level, you pay for it, and it just opened the door.
You cannot make a mistake and give up points, which is against the bigger guys. I've certainly been a victim of that. Make 8 out of 8 shots and still give up 2 or 3.
So the first one goes right into the house, and now we're getting the first rock there from Don McDermaid as he'll take a look at it. Ouellette and Granchelli here. Going to be a guard here. Puts the brakes on and looks like it will stop in time. Of course, as I mentioned, it's a 4-guard, 3-guard zone. And Murphy looks like he's going to call up another one of his own here as Crowell will settle into the hack.
This one's a little tricky. It's not tricky in terms of the shot itself, but tricky in terms of where exactly do you want to leave it. You certainly don't want it to over curl, leaving the hit and roll in behind the corner. And high isn't really any good either.
They're going to try to get it. They have one that's there in the top 4, and it will just stop right along the center.
Perfect. Well, if you notice, that's why the guys were sweeping right until the end, and Jamie was, yelling with some certain volume because that was an important one.
So far, all in the early going here in end number 2. A lot of rocks in play here as Ouellette and Granchelli hold. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is just the one that as a skip you can't really. It's tough to, it takes years to learn. It takes really experienced players. That was a pretty darn good shot, but a foot in front of that would be better rather than even touching it just a little. Is what Murph's team's going to do now is just play a little bit heavier weight, and even if they only move it to the tee line and then flop underneath, it's a really good situation for them. So, Flemming's in a bit of trouble here.
As they say, game on here, man.
Yeah. No, this is if he can get low, so closer to the center line on this shot than that blue one is right now, then Murph's looking at a bundle here.
As we take a look at Scott Saccary, the second here on Team Murphy. That's the situation that he's looking at right now. And once again, Pinder here and Crowell here. Now they're brushing. You can trying to drag it here, try to get it as far as they can here. And they'll get a pass, and it will come in. And it will touch that blue one there.
Pretty darn good.
And pretty well make it really hard to get that shot rock right now.
You're in big-time bail mode here. Well, if you want to be really good, you run the corner in there. Pretty tough to be really bad with it. Or you run the yellow. Oh, boy. Well.
And what's really, really crucial is they have to pretty well. It's not really it's not really a dire to try to get these thinking time in terms of trying to get it, but you want to at least save some time because,
absolutely,
like as I mentioned, I called the Gamble brothers draw here earlier this morning, and that's sort of really what hurt Christy at the end is that she didn't really have enough time to really settle. She tried to try to, and then made a mistake, and so if they can try to make the time go down a little, make a decision real quickly.
For sure.
But don't make too much of a decision that you almost hurt yourself in the process, as they will bump the Yellowstone in, create a little bit of a path there, but opens things up out front.
Murph could just, on that one that's center line yellow.
I think it probably...
hold another one on there, and he's looking pretty good.
And as you see, he just puts his hand right up to his ear with other 3 sheets going on. It's really hard to hear.
Good.
It's, communication, of course, is, pretty well an important thing in the sport here. As Saccary will stand up again. Murphy taking another look. Right now, he stands to be shot 1, 3, and 4.
Yeah, the 2 things he's worried about are obviously the in-off. So the yellow one that's on the side, he's worrying about Flemming coming off of that into the 4-foot. Oh gosh, it's a really difficult shot. I don't even think it's there really. So yeah, that's his thought, is that the double isn't there off the side, just because of the corner guard. So he's coming into the center.
Well, the way this one's going, Matt, we'll probably be the last ones here.
Yeah,
all the other games will be going on, moving right around quickly. But, Murphy's put the pressure on Flemming in the first, and it's back on here once again in the second.
Well, if Flemming just would have peeled that guard, if you think about it now, the blue in the middle would not be there, and then the third yellow one in the house wouldn't be there. That's something you can still get out of. You got to... perhaps I'm too conservative myself, but I'll generally pull the pin on these kinds of ends really early.
Well, you said conservative. It's like, what these teams, like Murphy being the provincial champion, last year, and of course in the past as well, he knows how the situation of being playing with a lot of rocks, So a lot of these other teams are just, maybe forming together, may not have the ability or the experience to deal with big rock situations. So,
no, I just moved here from Ontario, and it's slightly more the norm in Ontario. Play with a lot more rocks, so I have noticed that here. That certainly Murphy and Adams are the 2 most comfortable, anyway, with a ton of rocks in play.
Yeah. Once again, now we're into third stones as Ouellette is taking a good look at it here, and him and Flemming having a discussion, as you see. As I mentioned earlier, first, third, and fourth belonging to Team Murphy, and 1 lonely blue stone, the second shot belonging to Flemming.
Well, if Flemming could ever play that angle in on the corner on his last
get
one,
the roller, and
that'd be... might even get all 3 that way. Whoa, I'm not sure what he's doing here.
Here's Granchelli. That looks probably... wonder if they're going to call it audible here and do a plan B. They look like they're going to... Will they squeeze by? No, they're going to tap that one, and that's going to raise the blue and right along the center line. And it's...
Well,
so that center line's pretty well out of the equation now.
Center line's closed and the corner guard's gone. So other than that, though, they're pretty good.
Well, you could sort of see, like, when the throw came out of Granchelli's hand here, that he wasn't
he had a
particularly too happy with it. So.
little outward motion on it and then just forced it to run straight. But so James going to guard here. Wow.
Well, that's pretty well. As you see the situation, there's what it looks like. There you guard, then all of a sudden you're making it really hard to even get into that scoring area there. It's Flemming that had his hammer here in the second. And another one underway as we're into the third now. This is Pinder now with the throw.
Well, Flemming could make an in-off the corner guard or an in-off his own. So I don't know. Maybe they're coming right in with this to kind of stop that.
So the champions of the day, Dave Jones, Mayflower, Cashfield, back here in November that we were here with. They've got the pedal to the metal, and they've got Flemming in a little bit of hot water here, just in the second end. Now,
well,
they're first and second, and
I'm
third.
not sure you can hit this hard enough, yeah.
Yeah, third belonging to Flemming, and then fourth belonging to Team Murphy. So a lot more yellow there in the house that Flemming would like right now.
Yeah, in essence, he's just throwing this hard and seeing what happens. There's going to be a bunch of rocks double hitting each other in the 4 foot, so it's yellow's probably going to be line one after this, but we'll...
A big-time shot here by Ouellette here early. He'll throw the big weight, as you see right there. McDermaid and Granchelli here. Now Dermott lays a brush to it, puts the brakes off, hits the one, bumps his yellow, will go to the back 4, just touching the tee line. But as you say, big weight and hope for results.
Yeah, you got to throw it even harder than that, which is difficult with any accuracy, that's for sure. Well, they're better off than they were, really.
So now, Murphy and Pinder having a chit-chat. I think I heard him say, "What do you like?" So,
well, yeah, I think he's kind of asking that because Flemming's got 2 ways in there, so it's
so much for a really conservative starter.
Yeah,
man.
no kidding.
Like all of a sudden you feel like you're at the 5th and 6th end. No, folks, it's only the second. Only the second. Lots of granite out there. Pinder's got to come down and take a look at it.
I mean, there's nothing too complicated about it at this point. There's Flemming's got a shot on our right side of the sheet and the left, and you can't stop them both. So which one do you think he's going to make? Neither one are great, but they're certainly makeable.
As mentioned, there's action going on in other sheets, and probably after this end, we'll update you on what's going on. Dexter Mayhew on sheet 2. Sheet 4, of course, also covered by Bell 5 TV1. Jim Nix with the call on that one. Brent McDougall taking on Stuart Thompson, and Kendall Thompson versus Stevens on sheet 5. And we'll get you some updates if we get anything. As we say hello to Lynn RDL, she's watching, of course, back out in Alberta. She's asking, is that you behind the microphone at Tankard? Well, yes, it is. Hello, Lynn. How are you? And hope things are well in Alberta here. We ended up being like real good, close buddies, even though she's well far away from here.
Oh, well.
Yeah. We'll say hello to her, and of course, we'll say hello to everybody who's, if you want us. Tune in the broadcast or shout out. I'm at Dan Hobson 12. That's at DANHOBSON 12. And I'll gladly send the shout out over the air to you. So we're going to try to get rid of some of the yellows there in the front. Probably open things up there because that's a little bit.
Wow.
This ice has swing, but it doesn't have that much swing if you don't get rid of some of that stuff out front.
Well, you need more of a helicopter than anything in this deposit in the middle.
Well, you like helicopter. Well, I like that idea better than picking it up and actually placing it. It's a lot easier on the back. Is all of a sudden the yellow spill and then there's jam on the blue one there. So
there's not much different there. Well, I mean, the double tap is the obvious one to block, but he tapped his own stone there, so I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm assuming he's just got to be guarding the double tap in the center.
Well, yeah, there was a statement here by Team Murphy, the defending champion, is saying this is why I've, represented Nova Scotia at the Brier a couple of times here, and pretty well maybe the odds-on favorite again. Of course, Stuart Thompson also a favorite too, number 1 in the rankings here, showing why he is the defending champion as he's got Mike Flemming on the ropes here as we're into skip rocks and end number 2. And Flemming has the hammer, and he has the blue stones here. And as Matt mentioned, just going to guard here. As Crowell will do a little bit of brushing there, bring it as deep as they can, make it not a long guard, but it is just a little off the center line, but the center line is pretty well. Lots of granite there covering things. And they're looking at that one.
Well, I see what he's kind of looking at. It's the blue that's in the center and the top 12 there, straight back onto the one that's in the 8-foot, and hopefully it feathers off the other one in the 8-foot. But I mean, I think it just goes right through. So I don't. His best result's probably going to be clearing the guards here.
Len says things in Alberta are great. The Hearts are in Nova Scotia this week, and that's great to hear as we are into, as I mentioned, skip rocks here in number 2. Big weight being thrown here by Flemming. Yellow onto the blue and out the back.
Yeah, no, he called what he was trying. And it's easier to see the angles from up here too. It's heck of a lot tougher when you're right on top of the rock trying to figure out what exactly especially when they're close, what it's going to do after contact. Well, Jamie should probably just draw to his own on the side of the 4-foot, yeah. Now this is a perfect situation to kind of put a team out. You go up 5. It's certainly worth the risk of trying to weld one in there on top of your own yellow one here.
Seeing a lot of time go off that clock. We're right down to 28:49 here for Murphy.
Not known for being the fastest, but it's weird. They generally always get it done. They like you were saying before, they manage it well. They'll figure out at the 4th or 5th. Well, are we where we want to be and speed it up if necessary.
But you have a chance to go for a big one. You know.
For sure. Yeah, you take your time.
Right
on
now,
this
he's got sitting 2 right now, one that's just back 4 and one just the top 4, and a third one belonging to Flemming here, but definitely looks pretty good here for the defending champion.
Should sweep that a lot, but oh no, it's already gone. Okay. Well,
and it will just come to a stop just outside.
Mr. Flemming may try the exact same shot just to give up one. I mean, all he's has to do really is make contact. You can probably see a bit with it. Well, that's for 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's really not much in terms of options there.
Yeah, this is for 2. I don't know.
Have rocks that you could raise, but you can't get to the one because of all the blockage out front. You see Ouellette holds the broom.
Well, I'd certainly bet on him for at least getting rid of one, that's for sure. And
last rock here and in number 2. Flemming facing a whole whack of granite there.
Why did he do that? Oh.
And he flashed there on the blue one and be a steal of 2. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you see that they are, as I mentioned, like number 2 in the province, and they've got some pressure here on Team Flemming. 4-0 just after 2 wins of play.
Yeah, they haven't been terrible by any means, but it's just Murph's team just keeps the pressure on. They haven't made anything, out of this world spectacular, but people think about the best teams in the world, and they don't necessarily make draws to the pin or triple angle raises every 2 seconds to win. They just they win, like you're saying, by pressure, and constant pressure, and nobody missing a shot.
We're talking to Lynn out in Alberta, of course. Taylor RDL is a member of Team Dexter there, so she's wanting to probably know what the score is. Well, Dexter's up 3-0, and they're in end number 3. Stuart Thompson has won against Brent McDougall. That's after showing 1 into play, 1-0. And Chad Stevens with a 3 spot early over Kendall Thompson, and that one is in the first. So we're not the only ones, Matt, that seem to be underway getting into the big-time scores. 3-0 there. Stevens over Kendall Thompson, and Dexter over Robert Mayhew. And, of course, we've got 4-0 here. And so, once again, the Hammer will stay with Flemming, but now finds himself down by 4. As we head to the third in, Flemming has the Blue Stones.
Unfortunately, it's silly tough. Like, I feel bad for you because you probably only threw 6 feet more weight on your second one, but you rode into the good stuff. Right? And then all of a sudden you're 20 feet deeper and you're like, what?
Okay, well, good start anyways. Got the corner.
Well, the thing is, if you're down by 4, the more rocks, the better it is you score. So you take advantage of the free guard zone. Why not? Just put them there. It can't be removed there. At least for the time being. So rocks are your friends.
Oh, for sure.
When you're down, when you come out of the gate, rocks are not your friends. Well, because, too many of them, you give up some, maybe the odd crooked numbers every once in a while. But now, of course, you're back into offensive mode, and all of a sudden some of these stronger teams, that's almost like, they're licking their chops on this one.
Well, exactly. Look at the first 2 shots from Murphy here, and so this one's got to be, remember what you said last time, this one's got to be in front of it somewhere. If you're a foot heavy and just touch it and roll to the side, that's where all that nonsense got started last time, when just a little heavy, chip to the side, Murphy came in, and it really created problems. So we'll see how this one ends up here.
So Team Flemming here just trying to get something positive, as they will just rub the guard and just...
Whatever, you can live with that. That's better than T-line weight. That's better than touching and just rolling to the side.
Yeah. Looking at the overhead there, I know that's not in the house because I can see the black line, but crazier things have happened. So
this is perfect. Jamie's got to peel this.
Yeah, four rock free guard zone, of course.
And then Mike's going to go in turn, maybe draw directly beside the one that he just threw, or somewhere in that ballpark. We'll see.
Saccary gets it, and shooter will go bye-bye as well. So almost maybe the Team Murphy here as they're peeling shoes on. Here in the third already.
Yeah, that's
by 4.
That's the thing you practice without a doubt. That's getting a lead, and then, the guys on TV make it look a lot easier than it really is. Somebody being able to peel 10 corner guards in a row is pretty darn rare. How the shot, it's concerning. I don't know if it's just he called freeze dead to the face on the one top 4 foot, which that is extremely difficult. And if you do kind of this, right, you hang it out halfway.
There's a little touch.
Yeah, now you can run that blue one back in there, get both blues, and Or Jamie's other option is just to freeze to that blue one that just ended up there. Yeah, see that's. So I was thinking a little higher beside the blue one that was just outside of the house. Well, then Jamie's got to figure out something to do from there.
Saccary, the team second here on Murphy. Crowell just trying to keep the line here.
Oh, wow, what a shot.
Taps the yellow in and removes the blue, so Team Murphy lies too.
Yikes. Well, we're going to be out of here pretty soon.
That was funny. I had John Slightman here this morning. He said, I hope this doesn't go to an extra inning with the women's because he had to go to school, right? You don't have anywhere to go, do you? That's always the way. If you have somewhere to go,
yeah,
you're going to be here. But if you have nowhere to go afterwards, it's like all of a sudden you'll be out of here quicker than you needed to. It's always the way. Well, there's still lots to go on here. Mike Flemming's foursome not done yet as they'll come down and they'll touch the yellow one just thrown here by Murphy. And it'll be his third shot right now, just hanging inside the top 8.
Yeah, I think Jamie's just going to guard until the cows come home. Let Mikey's team make a shot here somewhere. I mean, 10 ends, sometimes guys forget that, 10 ends is so long that you don't have to really go. You get down 2, you don't have to go all in. You get down 4, you don't have to go all in yet. It's
Here's Pinder now. Once again, Crowell holds the line and gets a little bit of separation and bumps the blue when it comes in, and now they sit 3.
Okay, well, they all know that wasn't called, so they're all just kind of walking around. Great shot, but, it was close to the original one, but, yeah, that's even better.
So you got to try to maybe raise that blue one in.
Yeah, may as well. I mean, you're into it now. But, you would even have time to bail now and, and maybe get a lucky deuce or maybe, and you blank this somehow and you get a deuce and you're right back in it. So there's
just will get by the yellow guard and they'll top the one on the top 12. Looking at that one that's just barely hanging on to the 12. And
yeah, you had to do something with it. You're either going to run that yellow center guard into it or do this. Either one's fine. You can, try and end the game now.
Just want to clarify the situation. Of course, I was talking about the game on sheet 4 here with Stuart Thompson and Brent McDougall. I saw Mark Daisy hanging around. But, of course, sometimes the teams have 5 members and they can do the practice. But just the regular 4 out there for Brent McDougall. Just want to get that clarification out why right now.
Well, the first mistake there from Murph's team, the one place you couldn't miss it was wide. And they haven't really gone out there all that much. It's on every other sheet. It is really straight on the outside, so it's kind of forgivable.
Ouellette taking a look at it here.
Oh, but how you get 2 out of this, I don't know.
We mentioned off the top this team came in number 7th in the Nova Scotia curling standings, and they started off pretty slow, and they're starting to find their game now, but they're in hard here against Team Murphy. They went 2-3 at the Lakeshore Curling Club Cashfield, 2-2 at the Bud Light Men's Cashfield, but they were 4-3 here at the Dave Jones Curling Cashfield back in November that we were here broadcasting, so they had a pretty good one, lost in the quarters to Quebec's Michelle Fournier, 6-5, so. But you would figure that, they had a little bit of momentum going on to see all of a sudden they get in here and seen a little bit of struggles, especially if that first in of the McDermatt's just going right through the house.
That's why we used to tell our lead to, when you don't have practice, it's certainly more prevalent, but to wait until everybody else, every other lead on the in the club had thrown, and we timed their first rocks because we knew that first rock of the first game or whatever is so important.
Well, with the free guard zone, the leads are pretty well important now. It used to be that, they weren't as much, but now they are with that guard zone as they get a little bit of separation and opening up the 4-foot area. So
well, Jamie's a little nervous now.
that's just probably all of a sudden Fleming's breathing a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Murphy's is now sort of intensified. Testing with the blood, the blood pressure monitor right now, probably going up just a little bit. Of course, he's been in big situations like this on bigger stages, so I'm sure that the situation he's got right now is probably like, maybe a 4 out of 10 in terms of.
No, it's more
scary.
of an annoyance. Just, when you're skipping and everything's going well, you're up 4-0, and then things start to look good the next end. You start to think, oh boy, maybe I can be done real early today. And you have one little bad break, and guess what? It's a dogfight for another 2.5 hours.
As you see, he's looking right down. Of course, holding the broom here is Pinder, and Crowell and Saccary here, the front end. We're in the skip stones here in end number 3. Murphy up 4-0, and so far not a brush laid to this one.
It's
as they get a nose hit.
It was on the cusp of going backwards, but it was all right. Got kind of what he wanted. Well,
so Ouellette and Mike Flemming will talk things over.
Yeah, Flemming's got to try that double there. I don't know. Oh wow. Okay. Gosh, yeah, tough, but mate, holy cow, that's tough. So he's got to push this all the way. He's basically, just push it out of the rings, kind of wait. At the most he's going to be able to hit is like a half a stone. Ugh. Yeah, it's tough. He could just throw it hard and peel it out of there and lie too. But he's trying to hang around, which makes this really difficult.
Do you think that maybe the score has maybe a little bit of this?
Most
definitely. Probably because if it was even, he'd probably do what you'd want to do, but down by 4, he kind of needs like 2 quick ones and probably in a hurry.
Yeah, he's already on his own here.
Granchelli yelling instructions. McDermaid here too, but they're going to wreck that one and push the blue right out of the rings. So at least one half of the sheet still available here for one yellow stone there belonging to, of course, Murphy right now. We're looking right at a good shot there.
Yeah, placement of this is, it's not tricky, but just you can make it really good, or you can make life a little easier for him.
I say Murphy's first shot and then Flemming's second. I'm going to take a hunch on that one.
So I think what Murph's trying to do is just basically put it right beside his other yellow.
A little bit of communication as you see there. Final rock here for Jamie Murphy here in end number 3 without hammer.
Well, they're not panicking on it. Line's fine. Lots of line, actually.
Yeah. Just trying to clean it like the line there is Crowell and Saccary. Pinder calling the line.
It's got to be T-line or else it's a bit of trouble here.
And it's starting to come in, and it's starting to dig in, and we'll come to a stop just touching the front 4-foot area there. So they lie first and second shot. Of course, Flemming going to come down.
It's going to give him the heebie-jeebies.
Of course, with this pass rock, there's really pretty well make a play on that for one is all he's got.
Yeah, for sure.
But looking at what it was there a few seconds ago in this end, he'll gladly take this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last rock here for Team Flemming in end number 3, looking to remove the yellow one just thrown by Murphy here at Granchelli here, sweeping it here, trying to keep the line.
Perfect.
And does, gets a little bit of a roll, and we'll stick there for the single point here in end number 3. So that was pretty important there for them to
perfectly
get that.
thrown. My gosh. Had it the second he let go, so that's those are always nice ones.
So after the end of 3 ends here from the Mayflower Curling Club, JB Murphy leads Mike Flemming 4-1. Visit bellline.ca/TV1 for the 5TV1 live webcast schedule and on-demand content. You also get information on 5TV1 live events available only to Bellline 5 customers in Atlantic Canada on Channel 1 and 401, 5TV1, brought to you by Bell Alliant. Along with Matt Paul, my name is Dan Hobson. This is draw number 1 and day number 1 of the 2018 Nova Scotia Deloitte Men's Tankard here on Bell 5 TV1. Murphy with 2 in the first and a steal of 2 in the second. And Flemming has gotten on the board in the third that just went by as we head to the fourth. And Murphy has the hammer and he is throwing the yellow stones. So definitely a bounce back in for sure because we talked about it just before the break there, toward the end of the third in. It didn't look really good for Team Flemming, but the Team Murphy made a rare mistake and they sort of, used that to come up with a single point here in the third.
Yeah,
so
that could have been the game right there. So it's
good in for them, and now a little bit of confidence, maybe a little bit of swagger, and also too is you just get out on the ice and all of a sudden, boom, there's a 4-0 already. Stranger things have happened, but
I don't know if swagger exists in curling though. That's a mild, unassuming confidence, perhaps.
That's a good word for it. Just need to come up with a one word for that term.
Yeah. Oh.
No, but it's important, like, to get some confidence.
Oh, no. It is I wish there was some sort of science that it could really investigate momentum and actual belief as opposed to this feigned belief sometimes. Like when you're actually feeling it, I've been down 4 or 5 and on the correct team, it's not a big deal. Yeah. And I just haven't seen anything yet from I've seen Mike's team play well. I've seen them play very well. It's just this isn't them yet. But, the switch has got to turn. That's for sure here.
So you say that maybe the leads here for Flemming has been giving him a little bit of some difficulty here. It's just been a struggle for McDermaid pretty well from the start.
Yeah, and we're not talking a lot here either. Yeah. A few inches, but.
It removes the blue, and now 2 yellow setting already. Here in end number 4, July 2, is Team Murphy. So basically here, you're trying to prevent the crooked number. At least make sure that Murphy does take one and have hammered a 5th, but sometimes that's easier said than done.
Yeah, this is all in for sure. That's looks a little heavy too, but you could have hit and rolled off that outside one. even if you only roll it half buried, you're staggered at the top there. It might be a little. This, say, make it perfect. You just feather by that, you put it on the button. Well, we're still got a shot back here.
They get by, and it's going to go to the back 8. Currently, that's the shot rock there in the back 8. Murphy's sitting second or third shot. And going, of course, because we're asked for the guard to be removed here by Scott Saccary. It looks like he's got his big-time weight. They didn't even need to lay a brush to it. Removes the rock, and the shooter goes as well. Piece of cake.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
When you have that weight in your back pocket, you can bring it out at any time. It's a good, comforting feeling. The throw from Granchelli, it's on its way.
Yeah, this just makes everything so tricky with them, with Murph's team peeling so well. You might have to start trying something else, like instead of a guard where they're putting it, maybe something really tight in the center of those two yellows, making it difficult to get the rock out of there or something, because they're just going to miss a wide open peel.
So, of course, on the sheet just next to us, it's Dexter versus Mayhew. Mayhew has a point here in end number 3. Makes it 3-1 as they are in the 4th. And, of course, one of our other contests at Bell 5 ring, the Stuart Thompson versus McDougall. Jim Nix and Selena Thompson have that call. It's 2-1 right now, Stuart Thompson, and they are in the 4th. And Chad Stevens, he got 3 in the first and 2 in the second. 5-1 lead as they are in the 4th. And that's an update of what's going on. And draw number 1 here from the Deloitte Men's Tankard from the Mayflower Curling Club on Bell 5 TV 1. Center line guard.
I thought you were real close.
Here by the Mike Flemming. And immediately the skipper here comes out and wants that one to be removed.
So what we're thinking is a little bit better would be a foot deeper and then a foot to the left. And then at least maybe they take something in the house with. Maybe you can blank the end. Maybe you can get an ugly 2. Well, there's your miss. That's good.
We've seen a rare couple of misses here towards the end here for Team Murphy. See if Flemming can capitalize there. And quickly, here is Kevin Ouellette with the throwing
just
third
throwing
here.
another guard, but it's curling pretty early. Yeah,
You can see Granchelli and
perfect weight, just picked. Well, Jamie's going to tap this thing up, and then it might be really difficult.
really that blue one is just a little bit out there. Really not much of any advantageous for any team right now, so they'll just completely just ignore it for now. Sometimes that's also the nature of the sport is, all of a sudden you get a pick. That's the way things go too, as you mentioned. Big weight here by Pinder here. Well past the blue one. Right onto the yellow, back to the blue. Yellow does spill out. Murphy tries to get that blue one to go, but it will stay the back 12.
Well, I get what they're doing. But, that's probably is the right shot. Jeez.
And they pretty well threw as much up weight as they could on it. That's
the difference. Sorry, what I should be talking about, not internalizing. The other option was just to tap that up to the 4 foot, and that looked like the obvious option. But when you tap that up, you're going to be first, they're going to be second, and it's going to be really congested in that 4-foot kind of area. Slamming that one back, get rid of the back one. If you get lucky and stick it, and the house is wide open, and you're lying 2, and you're looking at 3. So, yeah, a much more difficult shot, but I get it.
As you see, Skip Mike Flemming's made his way down to the ice, getting ready to settle into the hack here. Does not have hammer here in the 4th. Looked like that Murphy was going to run away with it here early, but a couple of mistakes there in the 3rd here and the 4th there. So Flemming's feeling a little bit better here as McDermaid and Granchelli here are going to try to keep the line on this one, and of course holding the broom is Ouellette.
Trying to go back 8 and buried behind everything. Just might be a little light here.
Yeah, because it's really starting to come over. It may come over and touch that yellow one. No, it's going to go by.
Oh.
And it will just sit there.
Well, it's something, yeah.
Shot rock, if anything.
You know, this is one Murphy 80% of the time, but, you know, it's you never know. And since at this point giving up 3 or 4 is irrelevant, what's probably going to happen? Murphy's going to make it. He'll hit and roll to the side. But then, you know, that was kind of Flemming's practice one. He's going to know to be able to throw a couple of feet more.
Yeah, use this shot as this, you know, use this shot to set up his next shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Murphy makes his way down, as you see.
Because what you're thinking with the scoreboard the way it is, it's like you're really not all that concerned about hanging around. The difference between 3 and 4 is pretty much relevant. So just get that blue one out of there.
Murphy's throw is on its way.
Lots of curl in it. We'll see.
Blue in it, you see, and
oh, perfect.
Taps the blue, and there it goes, and the yellow gets a nice roll. We'll stop at the back 8.
Oh, Lord. Well, doesn't get much better.
Well, there's really not much there in terms of abilities for Flemming. They're just too spaced out, and you got 2 that are sort of like very well side by side each other, but across the sheet from each other there. This one, that one, so the ones that are top there, I shouldn't be, you know, pointing because people can't see. I don't have telestrators, but you know what? Basically, you know what I mean is that they can't get anything on those ones that are on the top there.
There's no doubles anywhere.
There's nothing there, so.
Your options are freeze, right where they, you guys can see, yeah, right where he has his broom there. Either freeze there, and what the shot they'll play is probably run that yellow one in on the side to try and get lucky and stick it for 2. But that's freeze there. If you're trying to steal, which is not a horrible idea, it's just that same draw he just threw.
This is where all of a sudden, like, you pretty well know in the head of what he's going to throw, so to defend on situations. So now it looks like there'll be a team meeting here as McDermaid and Granchelli are making their way down. But it is pretty well a crucial spot here.
Oh,
in
this
is
the game right here. Yeah, if you can somehow get lucky and steal one maybe out of this.
As McDermaid gives his 2 cents here on this one. The thing is, there's really nowhere even to even hide this here to even like.
The only place you can hide is throw the same shot you just threw, just make it a little deeper and a little better, a little more buried, or to freeze to the wide one. I'm never a fan of. He hasn't thrown that exact shot. I'd rather have a shot with a higher degree of difficulty that I've already played than something brand new.
And the thing is that this has to be this freeze has to be perfect.
Well, I think now he changed his mind, so he's going in-turn draw. So he's playing the same draw he just threw, but just a little bit deeper, about 3 or 4 feet deeper. Behind the tee line is fine. He doesn't care. He just giving up 1, not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Giving up 1,000, well, it looks a little firm, I think. But
Granchelli working hard here. Now they've let off it here for a bit.
I'd stay with it. I might come down.
Right there is Pinder there trying to get it back out as far as he can. And you ever see that happen before? Yeah, it was the wrong color.
Day. I've seen it at every single level.
It's like I was starting to think, man. I was like, whoa. That has been a rare. I've never seen that ever happen. That's the times of watching at home. I have never seen the wrong color being thrown down.
I've seen a team go out there and throw the entire wrong set of rocks for their practice. And the official just kind of looking at them, and he was about to go. It was against Kevin Martin, and the official walked up to Martin. He's like, "What do you want me to do to? Or are they trying to throw your rocks?" He said, "No, they're just stupid. Let them go." Not that I was on the team or anything, but
well, that's what's so great about this sport. You can come to many events, watch it on TV for 20-some years, come to the rinks for also 20-some years, and you'll see something that you will never, ever seen before, and this one takes the cake because it's like, it's Team Murphy's rock that's being thrown down here. So this is the real yellow one here. Right team as we're into the final stone here in number 4.
I'd sweep that, guys.
And they're brushing hard here. I'm going to try to tap that blue one out. We're going to take
Looks
a look.
Pretty good. Yeah. Well, that's 3, yeah.
Whoa, that's a big 3 spot here.
Perfect shot from Murph. And, and again, like I was saying, though, even though the opposition skip had thrown down that line a couple times, something that you see, that you can, same as, playing practice rounds in golf. If you get some familiarity with something, these guys that are this good pick it up after, like, one attempt and then can make it, so.
And I know one thing, that the Team Flemming is really hoping that this 5th in break comes real quick, 7-1 after 4 ends as we head to the 5th. At least Flemming will have the hammer here throwing the blue stones. So pretty well, probably a little bit early here to try to go in the defense mode here for the Murphy foursome. But of course, also too, they said you're in a situation here, you're in draw number 1, so go as much as you can and try to, climb your way back into this one here, as this one will stop in the top of the line. Sometimes, of course, the less rocks in play, less offense, the better it is for the team that's leading. As the first from Don McDermaid. And, of course, as I mentioned, more rocks in play, the easier it is to score. So Flemming's going to throw up, of course, the corner guard. And just joining us, 38 minutes in terms of thinking decision, a 4-rock free guard zone, 2 timeouts. And of course, 10 ends of play, and we're 5th, so. Crowell now here will maybe try a little bit here of this tick shot here, or maybe even just get by. But it's going to curl, so it's going to be easy. but he'll throw up a guard for sure. Sometimes I like to see that tick shot done. It can create a little bit of separation, but this time they're just going to come up just outside the house there and blocking the Yellowstone that's in the top 8. And quickly, McDermaid here out of the hack as soon as that stone has already come to a rest. Of course, both teams still looking right now at the 21-minute mark here in terms of thinking. 21:54 versus 21:40. As that one was coming to a stop, and of course, up by 6. Peel mode here. Scott Saccary asked to remove that and get rid of the shooter as well. And as you see, he'll throw the big weight here with Crowell and Pinder here. So far, Pinder looking down, showing no instructions. Crowell doing the work, holding the line, and they'll nose that one, and almost got rid of that blue in there on the outside as well. It would have been just gravy for them, but slides just passed. Of course, now with the free guard zone out of the rim of possibility here for Flemming here. The options here for Flemming starting to get a little bit low here in terms of trying to find a place protection and try to get the rocks back in play. And Granchelli will throw up a guard, and you can just probably see that even before that one comes to an end, the skipper of Team Murphy, which is Jamie Murphy, probably either asked to make the play in that one or the previous one. So Peel game here in full effect. And Matt, what this also does too is like with a 7-1 score, pretty well what you're trying to do is also to, conserve some time here, make the ends go by real quickly, even if there's like nothing really much in terms of offense generated, just quickly get in the hack and throw it there and save some time here. Of course, you're down by 6, so
yeah, it's
you need time there to probably try that. If you get into an end that is going to be lots of difficulty, still have a lot of time to make a decision to.
So sometimes when there's a whole whack of difficulty or a ton of rocks in play, what makes it easier is that you're so far down, then you might as well just generally the right idea is to go, all in regardless of the risk. So that can make things, strangely enough, it can make things easier for the team that's down in terms of time. Up, you're going to see, Murph have some ambiguous situations, whether to peel the rocks, whether to draw. So
if you're just joining us, you've pretty well missed a lot of stuff so far. Murphy quickly had the pedal to the metal, scored 2 with hammer in the first, and then stole 2 in the second from Flemming. Flemming got a single in the third, made it 4-1. And then Murphy with a big 3 spot there in the fourth. And so if you're just tuning in, you want to drop us a line at Dan Hobson 12. That's at DANHOBSON 12, and we'll send you a shout out over the air during the broadcast as we are into third rocks here in number 5. Jordan Penn with the big weight and removes the blue stone, and the shooter goes as well. And it's one lonely rock here in the house in the top 8 there, Matt.
Yeah, Murphy's team's throwing it really, really well. There hasn't really been any, you don't hear yow or whoa right out of when the rock is right out of somebody's hand. So generally that
they got the weight in their pocket. That's what
they're close. They got the hits look good. Everything looks just pretty good, and they haven't had to do anything spectacular. They've just been solid, so it's can't ask for much more.
Or pardon me, Granchelli and McDermaid are keeping it clean, and this one will just come a little bit deep, and we'll touch that yellow one.
A couple options here. You can either peel that corner guard or running this thing in should be okay. You just don't want to be a hair to the right of it and spill that blue in behind the corner guard. So we'll see. That's the danger in this anyway.
Yep. There it is, and spills pretty well everything. And one Yellowstone will move and just touching the tee line there in the back 8.
Yeah, that's good for Mike. Everything's perfect here for Mike now. He should be able to get 2 out of this for sure. But like you're saying, you got to get on. Got to make 4 shots in a row here.
Second from Ouellette on its way. McDermaid doing the work here. Granchelli yelling. Trying to keep the line here is McDermaid there, and trying to come around here. They're working hard now as they're going to drag it as far as they can, and it will stop there at the top 4. That's shot rock.
Well, that's perfect. Now see that Jamie's going to be forced to run his own in here. If he misses that, Flemming goes around the corner guard. You know, they're looking at 3.
Yeah, Flemming's forced him here. That it's the front end that's kind of struggled for them in the early going here, but Ouellette here, Mike Flemming have just been making their shots and made things a little bit more difficult there. So it's a team game, but boy, Ouellette and Flemming just feel like they've just been sort of like on a lifesaver mode since pretty well the opening round.
Yeah, you know, you're right. Oof.
There it is.
Well,
and sitting 2 right now is Team Murphy. Decisions there.
Yeah, it's something out of nothing kind of deal. Probably your best bet. God, if you only got 2 rocks left, throw one on the button. See if you can bury maybe a corner of it. Yeah, there's 2 rocks. Jeez. So if you can throw it directly on the button, maybe quarter bury around that one that's top 4, and then hope they hit the guard. This hit about making on the side is impossible. The angle run of the corner's more difficult than the draw, so. Or draw to the button, let him peel out of there, draw the button again, and hope. You know, it's. Sorry, draw the button for your 1, not hope. But there's just, yeah, when there's nothing, there's nothing.
Mike Flemming making his way up. I feel like he's been in the hot seat pretty well since the opening end. Trying to claw back. He's down by 6 here. Does have the hammers. We are into skip stones and end number 5. And the first of 2 from Flemming on its way. Beautiful work done here by the Bell 5 TV1, taking a look at the rock and the brushers. And a little nose hit there. So I think it's kind of important that Murphy, of course, has to make a play in the blue one, but doesn't want to really roll too far because then all of a sudden there's a double.
Yeah, it doesn't want to roll to the middle, anywhere near the middle. You either want to roll, you know what, even for me, I don't even like nose. I'd rather roll to the side or even right bloody out concerning the score. It's the absolute worst thing that could happen is, like you're saying, nose it, roll a hair to the inside. I mean, two's going to end the game, so.
Murphy without hammer as the throw is on the way. And just gives a little bit of a roll.
So it's, you know, I thought he'd be drawing. Oh, I think he's drawing. So, you know, Murph did everything he needs to do.
Mike Flemming would have liked to put up a crooked number here, but he's looking at just the possibility of scoring one here with his last seconds away from being thrown. Last rock here to Team Flemming in end number 5. The draw for a single point here in end number 5.
It's tough, but
go to the
I'm
fifth
sure
in
he'll
break.
make it. I'm sure he'll make it, but it's.
I haven't laid a brush to it yet here. Now it's starting to come.
They might be trying for a wick because it's out and up. Yeah, well.
It's got to sail out the other side. It has got to be a steal of 2 for Murphy, 9-1.
Oh, yeah, the 2 did end it. Okay. Well, that's it, man.
And that's the final here. Then break.
All of the day's work.
So, Team Murphy with 2 in the first, a steal of 2 in the second, and 3 with the hammer in fourth, and a steal of 2 in the fifth. Defeat Team Flemming by a score of 9-1. And Matt, Team Murphy, pretty well a statement game, said we're going to be tough to beat here at the men's tankard for sure, with a great effort there we just seen here in this one.
Oh, that's honestly that's the best I've seen them since I've been in Nova Scotia. That was really, really impressive and easy. That's the biggest part about Crowell is making the easy shots with extreme regularity, and they certainly did that. My gosh, I think there was just Mike Flemming's team didn't miss that many shots. In the first end, they only missed 1. They give up the 2. And it's a couple of half shots here and there, and that was it. So
I want to thank Matt Paul here for the expert analysis here on this one, and hopefully we'll see you throughout the rest of the tournament here, Matt.
All right, thanks.
All right. Matt Paul here. So for Matt and our entire Bell 5 TV1 crew, this is Dan Hobson saying so long. Thank you for watching the 2017 Nova Scotia Deloitte Tankard here on Bell 5 TV1, the leaders in sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada. So long from the Mayflower Curling Club.